The days when Raila could play games with us are over. We are not going to allow this thing that he is trying to do again. He wants to feed on the blood of the children of this country. He did his part, but it does not have to be that he only fights when he's out of government and he becomes part of every other government. He extended Moi's stay in power. He extended Kibaki's stay in power. He extended Uhuru's stay in power. Now he wants to extend Ruto's stay in power against the wishes of Kenyans. Yeah, he's angling for his own stomach. Odinga, Mr. Raila is just angling for his own stomach. He's not angling for anybody's stomach. He has not even demanded justice for the kids who died. How can he be rushing to go into government when kids have died? Even some we don't know where they are. People have been abducted. We don't know where they are. Before going to negotiate with a criminal, why would he demand that the criminal comes clean on what has happened to this country? Huh? This kind of political prostitution is not acceptable. He can do the prostitution with the old order, but I think the new order, which is exposed, cannot allow political prostitutes. And unfortunately, Baba stands out to be a political prostitute who cannot resist the temptation to go into bed with any offer that is there by an illegitimate government. It's very unfortunate I've had to use the words I've used against Raila because his history, he had done a lot of work for this country, but you cannot sacrifice that work just on the altar of greed. It looks like whatever he has done for this country was doing it because he was out of the eating circles. It now looks like a situation whereby you have a prison. People are fighting to be over wardens who are fighting over who will be the chief warden. Then they realize that there's a prison break. The days when Raila could play games with us are over. We are not going to allow this thing that he is trying to do again. He wants to feed on the blood of the children of this country. He did his part, but it does not have to be that he only fights when he's out of government and he becomes part of every other government. He extended Moi's stay in power. He extended Kibaki's stay in power. He extended Uhuru's stay in power. Now he wants to extend Ruto's stay in power against the wishes of Kenyans. We have to call him out. He's just a mortal like all of us. We have given him respect, but we don't fear him. So I don't see why he's salivating to get into a government that is responsible for the destruction of this country, a government that has mortgaged this country. So he can go ahead, it's his choice, he can go ahead, but he'll go alone. I think there's a generation in this town which says that this country must be governed by law, and those who break the law should be punished. Even our own constitution, if you go to Article 143 of the Constitution, on the immunity of the president is not immune from crimes against humanity. The genocidal actions him and his cabinet have been carrying out in this country by destroying lives and livelihoods are issues he can be held accountable even under Kenyan law, even when he's still in office. And we are exploring chances of suing him in our Kenyan courts to test that Article 143. So those who are running around thinking that an opportunity has presented itself, that they want to get into government, they will get into government against the wishes of Kenyans. The wish of Kenyans have now is a new start. We get an election for the president, and we carry out a clean election, not an election that is delivered by the courts. And a clean election that terminates at the constituency as ordained by the Constitution, and not one that goes to Bomas. Under our Constitution, we are not supposed to have an election in Bomas. Anybody who cares to read can go and read Article 138, Clause 2 of the Constitution, together with Article 86, B, C, and D. And you realize that an election for president is supposed to take place in the constituency, in each of the constituencies. We get 290 results. That's what we shall tabulate for other requirements to win an election. And at the constituency, an election at the polling station is presided over by a presiding officer, and the constituency level is presided over by a returning officer. When Parliament came up with the nonsense of saying that the chair of the IBC is the returning officer for the president, they violated the Constitution. There is no election to take place nationally for the president. The election takes place at the county. We only aggregate the results from the constituencies, 290 constituencies. So I think that the time has come for us to go back and be true to and faithful to the Constitution. We implement the Constitution. Things like NADCO, all this nonsense these people come up with to try and give them their power of relevance against what the Constitution ordains, must be rejected, must be resisted, and must be defeated, and we are going to fight